Hello, friends. Hi, how are we today? I hope we're all doing well. I am doing fantastic. I am here for the week of May 12th through May 18th, and I'm using this beautiful kit from Nicole Alexia Designs. Now, her shop is no longer open, so I am sorry about that. Um, but I bought this kit actually a couple of years ago, and I really wanted to use it for spring. You guys know that I am on team use it, use your stuff. So it was really important to me to get this kit used. And honestly, I'm so glad I did. It's beautiful. It's perfect for May, sort of spring garden with the light pastels, pinks, and the darker greens. It just makes me, I don't know, think of spring. I don't know. My spring kits this year, I feel are very, I don't know, I'm just really enjoying them. Excuse me, sorry. Um, I decided to do the boxes in a scatter pattern. Now, the only thing that I didn't consider was how busy my Tuesday was on this one, and that I would have to white out the dates underneath the top headers when I pulled the headers up. So I can a little bit see the shadowing underneath the dates, the headers rather, for the dates, but you can't win them all. It's fine. Um, I did white out that one, and I think I whited out one other one, but the rest of them I definitely didn't. And you'll have to excuse my nails. I have been planning for Planmas, so it's just been really, really busy. Sorry, it would appear that I am quite distracted today. I did speed up the start of this just because I think that you guys have already seen me plan. So it's not super duper new to me, but I decided to pull in the pink headers. I didn't love the decorative headers on this kit. They're nice. They would have made a nice full box, but the decorative headers weren't speaking to me. So I just decided to go with the plain. And honestly, I felt like that was really good because then it didn't detract from any of the full boxes. And the reason I bought this kit was the full boxes, like they're absolutely stunning. You're going to see me lay down in 1 second this full box of a windmill, and then excuse me, a full box of a butterfly. It's just the whole entire kit really honestly makes me think of the Netherlands when I was many years ago, like 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago, probably 25 years ago. That's also insane, by the way. That I'm this old. Just gonna sit for a minute with my age. Lord love a duck. Okay, anyway. Very, very, very happy that I got all that done because now we're going to move a little bit more quickly. We are going to get the headers put in, and then we'll get the date covers put in. Then we'll get the sidebar put in, and then we can start in onto the day by day. And that's really the reason that we're all here, right? Like, I don't know why you watch planner videos, and if it's just because you like seeing people put down kits and seeing people do things in a different way, absolutely, like, power to you. I do it because I'm nosy. I start watching one planner channel and I'm like, oh, you know what? That's my life. And then I'm like, oh, but you know what? I need to know more. I need to know about this situation that they mentioned like 3 weeks ago. Why haven't they brought up the rest of it? And then I get invested. And then here we are, and I'm watching planner channels years and years and years and years later. So let me know in the comments down below why you watch planner channels, what your main drive is. Perhaps I could tailor my channel a little bit better. But as you guys all know, this is for funsies. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy chatting with you all. So thankfully, Nicole Alexia Designs has a this week in her kit. Now her shop again is no longer open. So I just don't, I'm sorry, I'm not going to link it in the comments. It's not open anymore. So I do feel badly about that, but she has a this week header, which you guys know I love, and she has a dinners header. And then I didn't end up pulling in a reading script or like a currently reading. I ended up just using one of the big third boxes that is completely a solid color, just in that in-between spot between the dinners and the bottom box. And I enjoy how it turned out. Also because I really enjoy how that color works in the sidebar. Everything in this kit works so perfectly together. I'm really, really happy for it. But now let's move into the day by day because honestly, as I said, this is what we are really here for. I don't know why I decided that I needed to like keep the pages of the kit and keep the video running while I was consolidating, but there you have it. So on Monday, I pulled in a foiled mini icon from the Prairie Planner of a laptop. Now, I am a PR girl for the Prairie Planner, so if you use my code ALEX20 for 20% off your order, and you can use my name and notes to seller for my PR freebie. So I just noted that I worked in office this day, and then I walked to, I did my 2-kilometer walk, 1.5, 2 kilometers, it's variable, at lunch, and then I did walk to the bus after, and we are getting to the point where I nearly got my car and nearly started driving to work, so we aren't going to see walks in the same way as we were. And then I used a Stick with the Plan Co. squidge to note that I went to Tim Hortons, and it was just the most glorious day. And so I pulled in a Sweet Tea Sticker Co. Icon to note that it was a beautiful day. If you would like, you can use code ALEX20 for 20% off in her shop. I don't get any kickbacks. It's just because I have made a lot of orders there since 2016. It was an early night this night, and I started a new book. I started Pucking Ever After Volume 1. So the early night script is from the Coffee Monsters Co. The Maru is from Paper and Milk, and then the Start New Book is from Magical Sticker Co. On Tuesday, it was a very busy day, so it was a day off for me, so I used my slow morning sticker from Stick with the Plan Co. And then I pulled in this little pencil to note that I walked my big kid over to school. I love walking him to school. It's one of my favorite things. I love chit-chatting with him and just talking, and it's nice. It's a nice way to start the day. Then the exterminator came for the ants, and so I just used a squish for that. I was neutral. I didn't really have an opinion. I'm glad it was getting done. And then my cat pooped in my kiddo's closet because he was locked in the room. Despite the fact that there was a litter box in there with him, food and water, he was very mad about not being allowed out of the room. So I used a deceased squish from Fox and Cactus for that. And I did use a day extender. All my day extenders, if you're ever wondering where they are from, they are all from the Prairie Planner. That afternoon, my husband got written off of work for 2 to 3 weeks. He had a pain in his side. He had like a very, very tiny tear in his oblique muscle, like very minimal. If he isn't moving or whatever, it didn't hurt him at all. It's just repetitive strain injury from the industry that he was in. So I just used a Fox and Pip icon for that. And then, I don't know why I didn't mark this, but I went and I got my passport done on this day. I was having trouble getting it done. And we ended up in a part of town that we're not normally in, so we decided to go on a quick lunch date, and we went to Canadian Brew House after this, which was really, really nice. I'd never been before. So then I walked to pick up my big kid from school, and I always wear his backpack on the way home. So this squidge Stick with the Plan Co. icon is super cute. We stopped by Stobies to get a couple of things for dinner that evening, and then my big kid was on the toilet, which was really exciting. I finished Pucking Ever After Volume 1 on this day, and I used a Kindle icon from the Coffee Monsters Co. to note that. Moving on to Wednesday, I worked in office on Wednesdays, so I used it, marked it the same way that I had on the Monday, which was the little Prairie Planner foil icon. I did daycare drop-off on this day with my son on my way to work, so I should have marked daycare drop-off first. And then I planted peppers when I got home from work on this evening, which was really cool because we grew these peppers from seed. So it was really cool to be able to plant them outside after all of that. We played outside just in our backyard, but I haven't really decided on how I'm going to mark that. We play outside a lot. So I just marked that with a Wii icon from Stick with a Plant Co. And then squish on the walking pad. I went on the walking pad for nearly 40 minutes on this day. It was a very good exercise. And then this evening I read a lot, and so I used a paper and milk Maru with a book, and then a read icon. Where is it from? Oh, Magical Sticker Co. It's on a sampler sheet. So I'm sure she has an entire icon that sheet of her icons that just say read. And this is in her font 1, and that is my favorite font, which is her own personal handwriting. Lindsay Morgan Plans is her name on YouTube. And she has her own shop. Then the Leafs versus the Panthers, Game 5. Don't want to talk about it. And then excuse me, you guys. And then I voiced overed and scheduled a video. So that was the first half of the week. It was nice, easy. Tuesday was my really busy day. So I am very, very, very glad to be done with that, because honestly, when I have day extenders, it's not my favorite thing to plan that way. On Thursday, I finished Rekindled by K.A. Riley. It is a young adult dystopian fantasy. It's excellent. It's excellent. Destroying capitalism, destroying the patriarchy, very feminist. I love it a lot. So very glad that I finished that. Very good read. And I believe her next one in the series is out. It's just, I don't know if you've been here for a while. I'm a chronic series starter. So I start series and then I do not complete them unless they are completed series and I can buy all the books at once. It's a problem. So I will go back and read that. But K.A. Riley puts out a prodigious amount of writing. So really, I haven't gotten through too many of hers. I worked from home on this day and I brought in a paper and milk Maru. I went on a lunchtime walk, so I used a squidge, and then I ended up at Dollarama and Freshco just to get a couple of things. Then I planted tomatoes on this day. So this icon is from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. I used the ball with the Marus for outdoor play. And then I got Happy Meal from Fox and Cactus. I used an icon from the kit for that. And I read the entire night. I'm not sure what I was reading. Don't know. Couldn't tell you. I don't know. On Friday, I packed. And there were thunderstorms all morning, so I used a little Coffee Monsters Co. emoji for that. I worked from home on this day. My husband and I just sort of debriefed our week and how we are planning our weekend before we went up to the cottage. And then we went to the butcher and the LCBO on lunch just to get what we needed to get. And then I drove to Muskoka on this day. It was a late night for my kids. I wasn't sure how to watch it, so mark it. So I put the 5 more minutes, please, and then the Sleepy Morrow. They were sharing a room for the first time, so that was funny. And then we had a family dinner, and all my family was up there this weekend, which was lovely, which was so lovely. So my sister, her spouse, my dad, his partner, and us. And it's a smaller cottage. There aren't that many bedrooms, but we made it work. It was fun. I drank too much, though, and so on Saturday, I used a Coffee Monsters Co. UGG to note that I was hungover, and it was freezing. You're never guaranteed warmth at the cottage in May. Our cottage is 100 years old, so it does not have any central heat. It is a wooden cottage. But even though it was 8 degrees, I went for the first swim of the season, and I did use one of my swim scripts from Magical Sticker Co. I used a squidge from Stick with a Plan Co. And I'm glad that I got that in because then it just torrentially rained for the rest of the day. And I used a paper and milk maru for that. And then I started a new book and I started Phantasma. Oh, let me just tell you, Phantasma. Ooh, and Enchantra, excellent. I am waiting for the third book to come out, but then I am also waiting for the soft cover version because I have a soft cover in the first two and I don't want hardcover. I searched for dry kindling with the boys on this day, and then it was an early night. We were just exhausted. On Friday, it was absolutely freezing, or Sunday rather, it was absolutely freezing. We left the cottage early, unfortunately. My dad went to the ER. He thought he was having a heart attack. It turned out to be a gastro issue. We have no idea what. The kids played outside when we got home. It was much warmer in the city. The Leafs lost to the Panthers, which was awful. And then my husband had a very real adult meltdown. And he gave away all of his Leaf stuff at 11 p.m. at night. It was... People get a little bit too passionate about sports, so